every moment each moment is a decision. And we can choose to be something completely different or do the same thing.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Who's going to follow you? The people that are going to be listening to what you're saying, they're clearly interested in this type of solution, in this type of product. That's why they're listening to you, right?
They're listening to you because of your passion about something that they're either doing or want to be doing. That's kind of the key factor. I like to use this as an example all the time to myself also. I have a marketing agency as one of the companies that I own. And I like to think, whatever you're doing as a founder right now, think about it this way. At the end of the day, all businesses are sandwich shops. None of them are money more important than a sandwich shop. There's so many different types of sandwich shops. In every single town, there's multiple of the same sandwich shop. What makes you different is how you really react and experience with the customer, right? They don't care. They might ultimately love your sandwich significantly more. That could be a small product thing, but most likely it's an endearment factor of you and your twist on either the product delivery or how your store is set up, what the environment's like inside of it. So the key point there is nothing that I'm doing is so fancy that if I told everybody just that we do sandwiches all the time, that's ever I talked about, nobody would ever get to tell me why they love my sandwich. And nobody would ever bring their friends over because they would be so tired of listening to this guy talk about sandwiches in a sandwich shop. So no matter what you think it's about, it's really not about you. It's about, again, that human connection that they either have. Yes, the experience. And that's especially today. If you take anything away from watching this today, it's that the opportunities are greater today. It's never been easier today. But one of the most important success factors and the reason why the people that win is they understand how to build humanity into their distribution. And that's the core focus. You know what I mean? If you go to a Tony Robbins event, even today, he's probably one of the smartest leaders, or Oprah Winfrey. The reason I pick these two is you can see them, and instantly when you see them in your mind, you think of them there with somebody, listening to somebody, and making a great impact on their life. That's the key. That's the linchpin. If we can all get to that point to make people feel like we're here for them, we're listening to them, we're buying into them, they're going to buy into us. Tony Robbins laid that out years ago. So that's the secret. Now, from there, it just makes, like you just nailed it, execute, analyze, and iterate. It's as simple as that. You keep doing that with every single thing you're doing, you're going to eventually continue to turn all those failures into success. And then what you're going to realize, all great multimillionaires and all great multiple founders are, you don't love the process of cashing in the paychecks. You love the failure, the experience of doing that, which is building distribution, building your business. And that's what's going to drive you to do it again and again.
So, Grady, I think you're amazing, and I agree 100% what you just shared here today. I think that you do know what you're talking about big time. There's a lot of people on the space, don't get me wrong, I don't say that, but you need to have a very specific knowledge and skill to actually make it happen for the tech founder, because it's an industry with some specific rules. However, you see, the other thing, counterpart for that is that sometimes when the tech entrepreneur comes, they're telling me, Harry, you see, tech is different than traditional business. And the more I see tech, the more it's similar to traditional business. If you don't have EBITDA, if you don't have profit, if you don't have traction, it doesn't. Some tech, of course, the tech company is something really good as well, is that the barrier to entry is very low, exactly as you described. You can do a minimum viable product just with the post and things like that. So barrier to entry is very low. They're very scalable. And so there are a lot of good things about the tech businesses. That's why we have in this broadcast and all over the world a large number of tech entrepreneurs, and also the valuation, right? The valuation is higher because of the data and a lot of factors that there are different that other traditional business. So there's a lot of things attracted to tech, but at the same time, if the entrepreneurs don't focus in what Grady shared here today, it's going to be tough in a very competitive space already. And I encourage all our tech founders that they are listening to us, or sort of the tech founders that want to start their own business. To I'm begging you to listen to this broadcast 4 5 times, so you can actually absorb what we just shared today, and we be your beneficial. So great if somebody's even in love more with our conversation and want to know more about you, how people
Yeah.
can find you, how this process works.
Yeah. I would say that, of course, practicing what I preach, I'm out here trying to build conversations. And so the three channels that I'm doing it the most on, I would say first and foremost, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's a highly conversational channel there. And like I said, I'm creating content there to try to elicit a response to learn more. I feel like if you really want to work with me or you like what I'm saying here, I'm in the zone because what I do is I like to work with people to understand a little bit about them and help them shape business. That's what drives me. And so, like, getting involved with you and working your business is really going to drive me to help you succeed and also to help me learn, which is what I'm looking for out of it. First of all, so you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm also building out content
How
on
can they
YouTube.
find you in LinkedIn, Grady? Tell us, because some people might be listening in the car. They're not on the
Yeah, you
screen.
got it. Yeah, it's really easy. On all social platforms, you can just search up my name. Everything is LinkedIn at Grady Teske, GradyTeske. I'm on YouTube at Grady Teske, same. And I'm building if you want to get deeper in there, I'm also building a newsletter where we go beyond tactically what I do, what I'm learning. I take learnings from directly from client work and share with others so they can kind of execute on that. Sometimes that's building new AI agents. Sometimes it's talking about creating visibility in your pipeline and process. It can be a wide range of things, but I'm literally just telling you how to get it done. That's the weeklyinvoice.com is what my newsletter is, where we give all that background information for free. It's like getting in a free advisory call. And if you want to come to a company that's going to help you build those solutions out for you, what my agency does is we create done for you distribution systems. What that means basically is we take best practices of email marketing, outreach, paid acquisition, and personal brand building, and we help apply it in a process that's for your business. We don't create the service for you. We actually do it, implement it into your business, and then we give you an owner's manual on how to run and operate it and staff for it. So we're kind of like an accelerator in the fact that we're just in there to put all these processes in. So again, any of those things sound interesting, I think you at least go to LinkedIn, find me at Grady Teske, start the conversation there. The whole key with all of that is take my final takeaway. Create different opportunities for people to come in with you so they can have the right level of understanding, right level of working with you. Start the conversation and then listen. And through you sharing with me what you're looking to get out of this, we'll be able to figure out how we can support and service you. And I'd love to be part of your story because that's how I'm going to learn. That's where my career succeeds. Let me just be a part of your practice.
That's amazing, Grady. One more time, thank you so much for the broadcast. I really appreciate it. I think that I'm a big fan of tech, and we want to send a lot of love and a lot of appreciation for the tech entrepreneurs that are having hard time. Yeah. So if that's your case and you're listening, there is hope. And to make the things work, you have to surrender, to give up what you believe, how tech company actually grow and can expand. And if you listen the content that we just shared today, I'm telling you that you will be in the right track for success. Because you will build something that you will create that audience, you will create that market for you, and that is gonna be your cash point. That's gonna be your cash machine. Depends of how big it is, but you will be always you will be able to cash out this even as a consultant, even if you don't have the physical product yet. But there is a way out. You see, Grady. Somebody told me here in this podcast story. He told me, Harry, he was such a one guy that want to build a game, an amazing game, and this guy trying to build this game and building this game. But you know what happened? After he ran out of money, he said, well, you know what? In the process of building the game, they designed something, a parallel software to help them how to process images and content and things like this. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? At the end of the day, this guy, the game never works, but the image content, whatever, was sold to Yahoo for a lot of money. But then hear me out. Then this guy take all the money, yeah, And he said, well, now I'm going to create the game. So I started to get the money to create the game and created the game. And again, at the second time, more than a halfway, he looked back at the investor and said, guys, you know what? I don't think that this game is going to happen. But parallel to that, we developed a process to keep the tax updated and things like that. And this company happened to be Slack. So at the point of the story, the game never went done. But in that process, by listening to your customer, by listening what actually the market want to buy, they managed to pivot, and somehow you see they went out of the way successfully. However, they have this ability to have that market that they listen to, and they have the ability to say, hey, you know what? This thing that we started with is not working, but actually the market wants something else that we develop. Let's put the rest of the energy and effort on that, and that's what the market wants. And you know that story. He has been shared for one of our guests here at the podcast. What illustrates? Yeah.
If you don't mind, one of the key lessons from that, and I've learned this too, is that a key factor in all life. We're talking about starting businesses and running it, but this is all life. Is that at every moment each moment is a decision, and we can choose to be something completely different or do the same thing. When you look at people that win, they either continue to do the same thing for so long until it becomes success. And usually, like, you know, as a founder, it's usually closer than it is far away if you keep at it, right? Sam Altman's a really good example of that. Mm-hmm. Or like you're talking about with Slack, sometimes the fear of making that decision to give up on everything you built, the personal brand you built, the twice running to a game, him deciding to follow and do something completely different, that was the catalyst that started off. So you have to, as a business owner and an individual, there's no right or wrong in either of those things. But know that it all comes down to that. Everything you do comes down to deciding whether you're going to consistently be the same person or somebody completely new in the next moment. And whatever you decide to do, you throw yourself into it. And most likely success is closer than you feel.
I think your ability to pivot and listen to that community, listen to that market, what they really want from you. I mean, watch from the other guy. One guy here from Canada, also in the 80s, he developed something like a cell phone, really big, like a phone that tracks time for workers. And his idea was that he want to sell it to the people, to the workers, like a phone, so the people can track the time at work and everything. He thought that this is what the market, that what the people want to buy. Nobody bought one, And as a result, what happened is that the people who really want to buy it as a service, it was the CEO of a company to track the efficiency of the employees. So now the guy, he couldn't sell any of them. Now he's selling his service where he arrived to the company with hundreds of these devices. Everybody used it for 2 weeks, whatever, and come back. And then he come back with the report. And this is what actually the market wanted to buy, which had nothing to do what he really thought that his tech or whatever is going to take place. He shared the story here in this broadcast also.
It was just a marketing problem. Sometimes you switch it with a product problem or solution. Sometimes it's a marketing solution. But
and that's why very good to have someone like you, Grady, helping out these tech founders, because I think you have great skill to spot that and to have a conversation with the founder and say, guys, you see, let's pivot. Let's have a look at this solution with what we actually have, because I see potential in this. And if the founders are smart enough and they are listening to you, I think that some people think that they're smart because they can write a great code. They're very smart. But when it comes to companies, to become an entrepreneur, you have to listen your mentors, your coach, the people that have been done there on the space and doing several times. And if you are smart enough to listen to them and to ask for help, you will be ahead really fast in a very competitive market. So Grady, thank you so much one more time. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Grady break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Thanks very much, Harry.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.